What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV, back again with another video. I'll be honest, I never thought I was going to mention this name on my YouTube channel again. Dimitri Payet. Dimitri Payet. I know that Dan's given you all the news yesterday, but people have been asking me how I feel about Dimitri Payet, how I feel about him possibly returning, although we know it's very, very long way away and possibly unlikely. How do I feel about Dimitri coming back? And it's a tough one, but before I give my views, I asked Dom and I asked Baz and I asked Nick Marsh to give me their views, and also Ginger Carroll from my football team, Thames Ironworks, to give their views on a possible return of Dimitri Payet. So let's go and have a listen to what they've got to say, then I'll tell you what I've got to say.
Hello everyone, it's Dom here from West Ham Fan TV. I've been asked to do a video on my thoughts about the possible re-signing of Dimitri Payet. Would I take him back? I mean, I don't doubt his ability. I mean, and if I'm honest, I really am not fussed about what he did to leave, because in my opinion he weren't happy at the club because it was being run like a circus, and he's actually echoing many thoughts and voices from the majority of the support about how the club's run, the way the owners are, the way they treat people employed by the club. You know, I mean, we don't even know if it's true about what happened with this, if he had an affair or something, and to be honest, I don't think it should really concern us as supporters, because it's his private life. I mean, he left. The guy left eventually, and, you know, it was sad to see him go, but if he says it's been resolved, then yeah, I mean, I'd take him back, but then the only thing that sticks in the back of my mind is he's 31 now. You know, and people are saying pay 30 million for him. I mean, is it really worth paying 30 million for a 31-year-old? You know, how long's he got left in him? I mean, he's a stellar player, best player I've ever seen play for us, ever, to be honest. Even though it's for about a year or a year and a bit. But you know, people have their opinions. They're not happy with what he did, like the way he left, and obviously it's understandable. But the way I see it, I just think he wanted to move back home, and obviously he's gone back to Marseille, and you know he's out in the 2 years he's been back at Marseille. He's got him into the Europa League final, and I know he went off injured. He's pretty much picked up where he left off when he was at us, from the 15-16 season, because obviously he was non-existent at the start of the 16-17 season. But you know, he's gone back to Marseille. I mean, you know, a lot of people then left here that, but then as the months got on, when he was at Marseille, you saw stuff coming back on Twitter. Payet's leading the assists, leading with assists in the French league. You know, chances created and everything. Most chances created in Europe, more than any other player. You know, and we were seeing that when he was at us, and it sort of made you feel like, oh, I miss him. He's a bastard, he's a snake, but I miss him. And, you know, even the people who don't like him and wouldn't have him back, I still reckon in the back of their mind they'd love to see him back in the West Ham shirt. If I'm honest, I don't really give a shit what happens, because, like I say, he's 31. How many good years has he got left in him? I'd rather we went to get a similar type of player who's a lot younger, who's got many more years left in him. Because when we signed Payet, you know, about 3 years ago at 28, he was undoubtedly in his prime, and we saw that with the season he gave us. But you know, I think it's a bit too old to go, and I think you know, he's a bit too old to bring back now. I mean, especially if we want to pay big bucks for him. You obviously want to be on a lot of money. I mean, apparently we've got Wilshere coming in now, £100 a week for a player who's regularly fit, who's not very fit. So you know, are we gonna want to have a 31-year-old on a big wage? if it was up to me, no. So I'll leave it at that. I think. I mean, I'm undecided, and I'm not really fussed what happens. You know what I think of the board, and I just expect them to not deliver this summer as they have been for the last 2 summers. So yeah. Anyway, season's back soon. Hopefully we have enough to get us through next season. But yeah, come on, you Irons.
Good afternoon, everyone. Baz Cox here. I've been asked to do a reaction video for West Ham Fan TV regarding the situation with Dimitri Payet. It's difficult. It's, for me, very difficult. My opinion is I wouldn't have him back for attitude. Would I have him back for ability? Yes. Now, if Dimitri Payet comes out and says he wants to come back to West Ham, he's got unfinished business, he's sorry for how he left, how he treated the club, the friction he caused amongst the players. We've got to remember our club captain made a statement that the name on the front of the shirt is bigger than the name on the back when he left. So there was obviously a problem there as well, and for him to just walk back in because of his ability and what he is, not for me. That's a bad apple, and a bad apple in the camp causes trouble. So he'd have to do a public apology, in my opinion, which would be a sorry to the players, his teammates then. It would be a sorry to the football club for taking £1 million bonus from him at Christmas on his new contract, or January, whenever it was, to then shit on them like that. He'd have to apologise to the fans for going on strike. And it's just things like Everton away that season, when he finishes the game in front of us along that touchline and walks straight off the pitch. I don't care how good you are, I don't care whether you're liked or not, just turn around and clap. I don't care if you're not happy at the football club. There's 3,000 fans in that stand who's come to support you and that team, and we sung your name, and you walk off with your back to us and not even clap. It's disgusting. And I say the same now when players just walk off now and don't show us any respect. We respect them, they should respect us. So for him to come back, in my opinion, it will need a big public apology to the 3 things: the club, the players and the fans. Do I think he'll do it? No. And more than anything, it's not what I want, it's what Pellegrini wants. And if Pellegrini don't think he's part of his plans, don't have him back. You know, whether David Sullivan wants him or not, don't have him. Pellegrini's the man whose decisions should be final. This deal was live, or the deal was offered, and it was closed down by Pellegrini. And it's been reopened for a reason, and if it's not Pellegrini's reasoning for reopening it, then it shouldn't even be talked about now. It should have been killed and dead and buried at the time, not possibility again we're looking. So for me at the moment, with him, say sorry, everyone deserves a second chance. Come back thinking you're the fucking dangly bits like you did just before you left, don't want you. But we've got Jack Wilshere signing very shortly, and that's going to be massive for this club. It's a top signing in my opinion. Yeah, he's come with an injury record, but it's a good addition to the squad, so fingers crossed. A few players come in. Payet, come and say sorry, you're welcome back. Stay as you are, mate, and you ain't wanted, in my opinion. Have a good summer. Come on, you Irons.
Afternoon, everyone. This is Marsh. Doing a bit for West Ham Fan TV, boys. Looking forward to getting back amongst it this season. You know, the time, I hope, is going to fly by pretty quickly. I know the World Cup's on, but you know, nothing like club over country, which is exactly what I am. I'm looking forward to it. So, been asked to do a bit of reference to Dimitri Payet and the circulating rumours this week, or last few days even. Would I take him back, and the reasoning why? I think deep down, when you think about it, I think I would take him back. I think for the reason that we know the quality that he possesses. Understandably, the situation and why he left last time was totally unacceptable. I'm totally in agreement with everyone where that's concerned. I think, but when you're West Ham, I think you get names such like Dimitri Payet. They're not linked with you every day. They're not linked with you every season. And realistically, I think you've got to jump on that. The fact that he potentially does want to come back, from what I'm reading, and I've only seen minimal bits and pieces, but I definitely would take him back. I think it's water under the bridge now, and I think I'm one of them people that believes in the second chance. And if we're going to be at a game next season, if there's a case that they can get a deal over the line and he does come back, you know, are you really going to be at an away game not singing his name? Are you really going to be at an away game not cheering any goal that he potentially scores or makes or, assists and creates? I think we'd all be silly to suggest that we wouldn't obviously sing his name, because I think we deep down know that everyone would. We used to do it, and sort of why not now, really? It's just my opinion on the situation. And yeah, if there's any way that we can take him back, then you've got to welcome that. I think everyone will live in the past and the circumstances as to previously and what had happened and what gone on behind the scenes and what was the real reasoning that he left. And he went back to Marseille, his home country, and being France, and you'd argue that he hasn't settled there, and then would he come back and potentially be able to settle this time, given the situation and players obviously knowing about a certain degree of stuff, and what would they be like around him, and would they be prepared to take him on and work with him again? I think the answer would be yes. So yeah, with reference to Dimitri Payet, I think it would be a good move for the club. Given the Wilshere thing circulating as well, hopefully that one's going to be over the line shortly. I've not seen too much about that. But yeah, Dimitri Payet, definitely take him back. I think, we know how good he is, we know the quality he possesses. And it'd be good to get him in amongst the players, sort of like Arnautovic, and when Lanzini's fully fit, Wilshere, if he is to come in. And the younger guys, the younger boys can learn off of him. And I think he's a good footballer, not such a role model. I wouldn't suggest for 1 minute, definitely not maybe a role model, considering the previous situation with our club. But I think we're a club that do welcome players back to a certain degree. I mean, given circumstances, of course, every player's different. But I think with Payet, I think that, as we say, he's a very good footballer, and I don't think anyone can stick that into any form of debate or questioning. So yeah, in answer to the question, as I say, I'd definitely have him back. Possesses everything that we would want, and we can get the team working around him again. Clearly, seeing from reports that might not be too much involved and kosher at the moment, it would suggest that he does want to come back and give it another go, and he's ironed things out, personally with certain individuals and characters that he needed to, and like I say, I'm all for the second chance. So if it was to be a Payet return, I'd welcome it. And I'm looking forward to the new season, looking forward to Pellegrini's first game, seeing what he can bring. The additions have been very good so far. Wilshere would just show that, I think, as long as we can keep him fit. And if it is to be a return for Payet, then so be that, and it is what it is. And I'm definitely one of them that's prepared to get behind him. I appreciate the time, and hope you all enjoy the video. Cheers.
Right, lads, basically just doing a quick opinion video over the news that's come out, that's sent social media, Twitter in particular, in a meltdown with West Ham fans, is the news that Marseille and Dimitri Payet's agent has come out and offered Dimitri Payet back to West Ham. Now there's a lot of diversity with fans. Understandably, I understand both arguments, both sides of the story. Some are saying no, don't want him back, you Judas. Understandable, because of the way he left. He could have done it a lot better. He could have left a hero, to be fair. But again, there's no argument in what he done in that last season at Upton Park. He's made so many memories for West Ham and West Ham fans, and arguably, if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have achieved so much in that season. Regardless, we didn't really win anything, but the whole season was a good performance overall. But then the other side of the argument is some don't want him back, some won't welcome him back with open arms, some will. I personally wouldn't welcome him back with open arms, because he's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot to make up for. Like I said, the way he left. But there's no denying he's a great player, fantastic player, world class. And if he can sort out off the pitch if he comes back and the board want him, get him straight away. Get him straight away. The Anderson deal is dead. We need a creative player like him. We've been crying out for a player since he's left. We've all been saying we need a Payet-like player. and if he can sort himself out before the season starts off the pitch with West Ham, the club, the fans, send a heartfelt apology to the fans. It's not going to win everyone over straight away. Granted, it's going to take a lot of time, but if he can do that, that's a step forward, and some fans might slowly start forgiving him. And then the next thing is, he has to back it up. He has to do everything he can. If he can come and be the player he was in that last season at Upton Park, and more, then slowly, surely, the fans will not so much forget, but they will sort of it will sort of paper over that crack that he left. But granted, yeah, it will take a lot of time because of the manner he left in. It's disgusting. But having said that, if he does the business on and off the pitch, then, do you know what I mean? He can still be that same player. I mean, not everyone's going to forgive and forget. A lot of people will, but it'll be down to him how he makes amends with the club and with the fans, most importantly. So yeah, he'll have to do a hell of a lot. But me personally, I would like to see him back playing in a claret and blue shirt, wearing a badge with pride. And if he can sort himself out, crack on, get his nut down, then yeah, I'll be happy to see him come back. But with the acceptance that he does everything off the pitch, and with all the fans, he needs to pull his socks up and be counted for regarding the fans. That's his main job, and that is a big task with everything that's gone on.
Mixed views. That's what it's been like on Twitter, on social media. Mixed views about Dimitri coming back. What do I think about Dimmy coming back? It's tough, but I think back to the 15-16 season when he came to us. I think back to his signing. I think back to everything he'd done for the club at the time. He was arguably the hottest property in Europe when he played for us. And I remember the feelings that he gave me when we went to games. We went to City and we went to Liverpool and we went to Chelsea and places like that. I thought we was invincible with him in the side. Any free kick around the penalty area, it was like a penalty. You know, the skill, the assists, the team spirit that they had there together. And then obviously it came to the next January, and by the next January he started the season quite poorly. Although he did do things spectacular still, he started the season quite poorly, and it was quite evident by the end that he didn't want to be at West Ham anymore. Now, to break down how I feel about Dimitri Payet, you have to look at the reasons why I feel that he left. And I have always reiterated, I think that he left because I think he had some personal issues. I'm not going to mention them on here because it might be libelous, but it's pretty... there's big rumours going around about the reason that he left and things like that. So I'm not going to speculate on that. But when I look back at the beginning of the 16-17 season, the way we was playing, the move to the stadium, the negative impact it had on the football, the way we was playing at the time, the people that we recruited from that summer, I've always said this, and you can look back on old post-match pints and old videos that I've done up, just shortly after he left. I thought he was sold a dream by West Ham. I thought he was led down the garden path, like a lot of us have. And a lot of people realised that in about March of last year, that everything the owners have told us weren't coming into fruition. Now, the club are putting steps together, like with transfer business, to sort of rectify that, and we're starting to make some moves in the transfer market, finally. But I can't blame a man for wanting to leave for footballing reasons. the way he went about it, yeah, it was totally wrong. You don't refuse to play for your team, you don't refuse to play for your teammates. But there were then reported issues that he had to leave to go back to France, in particular, pretty quickly. That doesn't give him an excuse. But when I look at the performances back then, and probably what he was told in the summer, probably the same thing that we was all told. Lacazette, Bacca, all them guys, and we ended up with Zaza and Caleri. He probably got as disillusioned with it all as us. And as much as we would like to think that everyone's loyal to West Ham, he'd only been with us for a year and a half. He probably hadn't even heard of us before he came to us. And not everybody shares the same feeling and love that we do, and we have to accept that at times, and it's hard to accept, but not everyone has the same connection with the football club that you do, and it's a special club, and you know, he was connected with fans, and it was wrong the way he did that, but I think there was more to it than meted the eye. So saying all of that, would I take him back? Absolutely, I'd take him back. I'd take him back today, honestly. Footballing wise, he's the best I've seen at West Ham, with my own eyes, of course. I know that I saw Paolo, and I think in ability, Paolo was my hero, and he always will be my hero. But I think footballing ability and just the impact he had on games, and the amount of games he had impact on in a short space, I don't think you could beat him. Like, you could talk about Devs, you could talk about Brooking, but I never saw them play. You know, I never saw them play. He was magnificent. He was unbelievable, Dimitri Payet. He is in that world-class bracket of, you know, the top players, you know. And at the time when he played for us, as I said, he was one of the most sought-after players in Europe. I'll take him back just to get his ability. And if you think about what we've added since we sold Demi, you know, with Arnie, with Hernandez, probably Jack Wilshere, Lanzini's still here, Andy Carroll's still here, Antonio's still here. If you think about what we've added since we sold him, the thought of them all coming together again, is mouth-watering, and it you know, it could make us a top team again, and it can make us, you know, compete. And I know a lot of people would say that this is selling your soul down a river for someone that's nature, but I honestly do believe, and if you don't believe what I'm saying now, you can look back through all my old videos when I was saying it. I think when it came to the Dimitri Payet transfer, there was more than meets the eye, as the Transformers used to say. But the answer to would I take him back? Yes, I would take him back. Comment in the comment section down below. Give your opinions on it. I know it's very split, and everyone that says they wouldn't take him back, you know, your opinions are respected, because, you know, there are players that have left us in the past in similar circumstances that I wouldn't take back. But maybe that's just me. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Please don't get into many heated arguments down there, because it has been getting a bit heated on Twitter. Respect each other's opinion. But it's a tough one. But I'll say yes. One thing left to say. Come on, you on.